Hi guys, my name is Anna White. Happy spring. Are you excited about getting outside? It's time to start building those outdoor furniture sets. But before we get to building that, I want to share a few tips that will help you build longer lasting, more durable outdoor furniture. About 7 years ago, I built these chairs and I just wanted to show you how they've held up. You can see they're extremely sturdy still. The finish is not cracking and peeling. It's still a very durable, very sturdy chair. After seeing how well these chairs stood up, it's inspired how I design furniture and how I recommend people finish it. So number one, you want to build the furniture similar to how you would build a deck. You'll want a 2x4 frame, and then if you put 1x or 2x on top, that isn't part of the structure, it's the decking. In this case, we've got 2x everywhere, and then underneath, should put 2x underneath, but you could put 1x for the decking because it's not structural. Number two is the wood species that you're gonna choose. So ideally, we'd love to use exotic hardwoods, but those exotic hardwoods have to be harvested in a rainforest and then shipped, and they're not fast renewing. So we want to use a fast renewing, regionally sourced wood to keep the costs down, and it's better for the environment. What I recommend is Douglas fir. I've used pine and I've used cedar, and the problem with them is they're such a soft wood that they'll absorb moisture from the air and it'll expand the wood. And when that happens, it'll push your fastener out, and then the wood will shrink back and you'll start getting your fastener bubbling out. And this happens to me on cedar as well. So I love Douglas fir. It's available at most home improvement stores. It's low cost. Look at how well it's held up. It is a little bit more difficult to work with, but I think it's worth it. You'll know it's Douglas fir. It'll have a reddish tone instead of a yellow tone. If it's yellow toned, it's most likely going to be pine or spruce. So let's briefly talk about the type of fastener that you're going to use. For the home hobby woodworker, which a limited tool set, the most ideal tool is going to be a pocket hole jig with an exterior pocket hole screw. Try to hide that pocket hole underneath where water can't pool in the pocket hole joint. The other option would be an exterior deck screw. So again, we're going to go back to the deck concept. How would you build a deck? Use those same materials and concepts to build your outdoor furniture. So this is built with self-tapping exterior star-bit screws. You're going to want to finish this with what you would want to finish a fence with. A semi-transparent or an opaque penetrating stain. You don't want to use a paint, a polyurethane, anything that's going to create a film, because what happens as it absorbs moisture from the exterior environment, it's going to grow, and then it's going to shrink as that moisture goes out, and that's going to cause a cracking appearance on a polyurethane or a paint. So just choose a penetrating stain, and then if you do need to refinish it, you can just clean up the project and touch it up at any time. You don't have to sand it and start from scratch. The final tip is maintenance. So let's go back to that fence deck concept, and we're going to treat these chairs or whatever outdoor furniture you have just like a deck for maintenance. Per the recommendations from the finish, or when it starts looking faded, clean it up, add a second coat, tighten any screws, try to keep them dry, try to elevate the feet up off of a lawn so that way moisture isn't absorbing up through the feet. Just general practices to keep it dry and keep up with the maintenance, and you're going to get long-term durability out of softwood furniture. You can just remember to build these chairs like you would build a deck or a fence. You're going to be good, and just to maintain them in that same way as well. If you're looking for plans, I've got tons of free ones. I'll leave a link in the description. All right, guys, this is my son Hayes, and he recently found out that Mom has a YouTube channel, and he couldn't believe. He's like, "Mom, where is your play button?" He encouraged me to go ahead and get it, so we just wanted to show it to you and thank you for subscribing to the channel. This is for the 100,000 subscriber mark, so thank you, Hayes, for encouraging me to actually celebrate the moment, and thank you to everybody that subscribes to this channel. We really appreciate it, and we're hoping to get to that 1 million subscriber mark at some point. So if you have a minute, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.